Thanks for joining me for this conversation today surrounding the idea of leadership development, and very specifically, who do we identify to invite into leadership roles inside our kids or family ministry team? I'm going to share with you 7 questions that can help you start that process of brainstorming people that have the potential to be invited into leadership roles on your team. So I'm going to encourage you to grab a piece of paper, something to write with, take some notes in your phone. As I roll through these 7 questions, if you have somebody whose name comes to mind or whose face comes to mind, jot their name down so that you can come back and revisit that later and see if that's somebody that you want to have some conversations with. So let's dive into the 7 questions. Question number 1, who are the people who embody your church and team culture? They're already a culture carrier. They get it and they model it in the spaces they walk in for your team and for your church as a whole. Who are those people? Question number 2, who is already leading? Maybe there's somebody who's leading inside your church, but also really think about who is leading outside your church. That might be a mom who's organizing play groups in her neighborhood during the week. It might be a teenager, a high schooler who was just nominated by their coach to be the team captain for their sports season. Might be a person who's in a management role, regardless of what their industry is. They lead as a manager in their 9-to-5 Monday through Friday job. Who are the people that are already leading? Question number 3, where is there already fruit? So when you think about this person, you can see evidence that life change is happening around them. There's a contagious excitement that they bring. They're truly a positive influence. So wherever they're serving, they bring a positive influence with them. Number 4, specifically what people on your team have reproduced themselves? So 2 specific things you can look for in regards to this question. The first would be, who do you know that if you have a new volunteer, a new adult volunteer, or a new high school volunteer that you are onboarding to your team, who do you know that you want to match them up with those first couple weeks on your team? It's a top-notch, high-level leader who's going to be able to teach and train and mentor that new volunteer to be successful and to be a contributor in a positive way to your team. And the second thing to think about is, who do you know that at the same time they're coming to you to say, I'm going to be traveling for a month over the summer and I'm going to be unable to serve. At the same time they're giving you that updated information, they are also saying, I already had a conversation with this person and I've been training them the last couple of weeks and I'm going to keep training them the next couple of weeks. So when I'm out, they will be able to do what I do in my absence. Who do you know that have already reproduced themselves? Question number 5, who seems energized by a challenge rather than overwhelmed by it? Challenges happen, unexpected things come up. I'm thinking about Easter and Christmas Eve and vacation Bible school and kids camp. Who do you know that when challenges happen, they can take a deep breath, process it, they are steady, and they're able to make some progress. They're able to kind of jump in. They are energized and ready to tackle the challenge rather than overwhelmed and wanting to run away from it. Question number 6, who has a humble spirit while being able to make things happen? So somebody that you know that they can get the job done, they offer suggestions to problems that they see, they invite feedback, they're coachable, they're teachable, but they're not overly concerned about being the center of attention. They don't require the accolades in order to be a contributor. They are humble, but they do have the ability to make things happen. And the last question, if you were to ask, what do you see is going well in the nursery or in the 3rd grade small group? And what do you know that we could be doing better? Who do you know that could answer those questions? They would have an answer. They are bought in enough to the mission and the vision that they are paying attention and they are self-aware enough to realize not everything is as good as it could be, but there are some things that are already being done really well, and they could offer some suggestions and some feedback and some input. Who do you know? So think through these 7 questions. This is just a starting point, but as you get names and faces that come to mind, write them down and then think about what leadership roles do you have coming up on your team that you might want to invite them into. I like to encourage leaders to be slow to give away titles, but be fast to give away responsibilities. So think about 1 or 2 leadership tasks that you can maybe start giving away some responsibility for. Invite some leaders to get their feet wet, see how they do, and then maybe what you'll uncover is that they're ready for more and they are somebody who needs to be developed on your team because God's inviting them to be a higher level of influence and make a bigger impact for the kingdom. Over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be adding some additional leadership content. So if this is pertinent information to you, if you found this helpful and you want some more content surrounding leadership structure and leadership conversations and developing leaders on your kids or family ministry team, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you will be notified anytime new content is added to my channel.